the police are going to ensure law and order and also protect the protesters the way they've promised us. So share your thoughts about that. And still about the murder of Albert Ojwang in police custody. Do you think justice will be served, knowing very well that the case touches on top police bosses? Yeah, so share your thoughts. I'm taking a short break, but don't touch that dial. I'll be right back.
Faraja TV, Chemichemi ya Furaha.
We welcome our esteemed customers to Clippers Barber Salon and Spa. The award-winning Barber Salon and Spa. Come get an exquisite and relaxing experience for a perfect haircut, professional makeup, lock installation, facial treatment, hot stone massage from our qualified and professional staff. And now, introducing Clippers Herbal Sauna. Come get a relaxing, refreshing and rejuvenated session with a separate designated section for both women and men. Clippers Herbal Sauna has a well-spacious, well-lit and adequate relaxation area and a nicely done massage section. Clippers Herbal Sauna for a better recovery of sore muscles, anti-aging benefits, detoxification, weight loss as well as muscle relaxation. For more information, call us on 0701 00 6503 or email us at clippersbarbering@gmail.com. Clippers Barber Salon and Spa, the trend setters.
Welcome to the greatest sporting show in the 254. That is the Sports Blast show on Faraja TV, where we'll be bringing you all the discussion and all updates according to sports and sports events.
And of course, we look forward to engaging and interacting with you on our various platforms,
which are on Faraja TV Kenya at Facebook, Faraja TV Media at YouTube, and our SMS line 0703 339959. And our various competitions and events of the sporting sphere.
Remember to catch us live each and every Saturday afternoon from 4 to 5 p.m. whereby I'll be joined by 3 great co-hosts, your boy Big Man Kyuga,
and of course, Mickey from Chambulis,
and Lefty Jizitisa Mgongoni.
One final lung-busting stride for Kipchoge.
So don't miss out on Sport Buzz.
Duka letu linang'aa sana, huduma bora kwetu daima. Sambaza upendo kwa wateja, tuna kila kitu kwa bei rahisi. Mabango kibao yanang'asia, maduka yetu yana hadhi ya hali ya juu. Wateja wanacheka huku wanunua. Jamaa Supermarket, mimi na wewe tuko sawa. Duka letu ni bora kila siku, tuna bidhaa nyingi za hakika. Jamaa Supermarket huwezi kosa, huduma zetu ni za kufana. Duka letu ni bora kila siku, tuna bidhaa nyingi za uhakika. Jamaa Supermarket huwezi kosa, huduma zetu ni za kufana. Kwa familia tunatoa bora, na bidhaa zote ni za kisasa. Ukiwa na mahitaji tutakupa, duka letu halina mfano. Nakukaribisha tunakukaribisha upate usaidizi. Habari njema zetu zinasikika mbali, kila kona tunakuwepo. Yeah, duka letu ni la dhamana. Duka letu ni bora kila siku, tuna bidhaa nyingi za uhakika. Jamaa Supermarket huwezi kosa, huduma zetu ni za kufana. Duka letu ni bora kila siku, tuna bidhaa nyingi za uhakika. Jamaa Supermarket huwezi kosa, huduma zetu ni za kufana.
Well, what is lifestyle? To me, lifestyle is the people, it's entertainment, it's food, it's beauty, it's fashion, it's music, and it's art. So how do you get to deal with these big topics that are affecting our society? Well, worry no more, because I, Sharon Gige, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m, I'll be bringing you amazing guests, and they'll be able to give us solutions on how to handle these big and disturbing topics at Faraja TV Kenya and all our social media platforms. Thank you.
Experto Paints is a company, a Canadian company that majorly deals only with the protection of the houses, producing quality paints for the buildings. We have different kind of textures for finishing products. Okay, for kind of buildings, we have exterior and interior paints, which can be used in different ambience and colors. We have weather guard paints, we have cover mats, vinyl mat, vinyl silk, and textured coated paints. Experto paints come in different ambiances and multiple colors, and it's a good quality. It also protects your wall from fogging and also from molds and the bad smell that come from water perforations from the ground. Now you come and find your wall, the paint chapping, but for Experto paints, it's hard for it to chap off. Welcome to Nakuru Free Area Depot, next to JJ Plaza, where we sell you quality paints as Experto paint, color paints, and you are most welcome.
Yo, welcome guys to the biggest and most exciting show in the 254, where we bring you exciting topics, great music, your favorite artists, and good times.
Join us each and every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Faraja Mashup. It's your boy Big Man Kyuga.
And your boy Big Willie, aka the Big Kahuna.
Welcome to Flamingo Auction Center, your trusted destination for safe storage and certified auctions. Here, we prioritize your peace of mind. Our auction center is fully insured, ensuring that your valuable items are in safe hands. With years of experience and industry certifications, we provide a transparent and trustworthy auction experience. Explore our showroom featuring a diverse selection of art, antiques, collectibles, and more, all ready for you to bid on. Join us for exciting live auctions where you can find unique treasures and unbeatable deals. At Flamingo Auction Center, we're not just an auction house, we are a community. Come experience safe, certified, and exhilarating auctions with us. Visit us today or check our website to learn more. Flamingo Auction Center, where your treasures find new homes.
viewers, thank you very much for still staying with Morning Updates in Faraja TV. My name is Vicky Kipto. You can tell us what you think about the state of the nation this morning, particularly about the murder of Albert Ojwang in police custody. Do you think justice will be served, knowing very well the case touches on top police bosses here in the country? So you can share your thoughts about that through our social media handles, and that is Facebook, Faraja TV Kenya, YouTube, Faraja TV Media, TikTok, faraja.tv.media, Instagram, Faraja_TV_Kenya, and our SMS number is on your screen, and that is 0703339959. Remember to include your name and where you're watching us from. And also about the question that I asked earlier on before we went for the break, do you think Raila Odinga has betrayed the Gen Z? Do you think Raila Odinga has betrayed the Gen Z? This is because he has joined the Kenya Kwanza government in what is called the broad-based government. So do you think joining William Ruto has betrayed or has made him become a betrayer? So we want to hear from you. Now let's look at another story that is making headlines this morning. It's actually our top story on the cover page of the Daily Nation. State House gets another 890 million Kenya shillings for renovations. Do you think that is necessary? Again, you can share your thoughts about that. And the story has been highlighted on page 7 of the Daily Nation. State House gets another 890 million for renovations. While President's approach may appear extravagant, he is not the first to put a personal imprint on the residents. So spending contradicts earlier pledges by Kenya Kwanza to clamp down on luxury expenses. Remember, he was talking about austerity measures that we should live within our means. Do you think that we are spending a lot of money on something that is not actually important? Yeah, so you can share your thoughts about that. So more cash allocated to State House in supplementary budget, the budget that was passed by the National Assembly last week. So at the moment, the House on the Hill is among 15 government agencies allocated 2.8 billion Kenya shillings in supplementary budget for the 2024-2025 financial period, just this to the end of the financial year, raising questions about the government's seriousness to observe fiscal discipline. So it's contained in the 50.93 billion Kenya shillings mini budget that the National Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Badi wants the National Assembly to approve under Article 223 of the Constitution, of which 9.3 billion Kenya shilling has already been disbursed. Yeah, so State House Nairobi, the seat of executive power, has quietly transformed into a permanent construction zone, well hidden behind manicured lawns and guarded fences. So President William Ruto has raised taxes, slashed subsidies, and cut budget across nearly every public sector in the name of austerity. So meanwhile, millions are still being pumped into upgrading the State House and several state lodges across the country. Yeah, so budget documents from the National Treasury show that out of the 2.3 billion allocated to the executive office of the president in the 2025-2026 financial year, a chunk of it will go towards rehabilitation and refurbishment work. So specifically, State House Nairobi has State House Nairobi and state lodges will spend 894 million Kenya shillings on rehabilitation works, making for a long-running item in the annual budget. So you can find the full story about that on page 7 of the Daily Nation. Do you think that is necessary? Yeah, and also President William Ruto has been defending the economy, saying that the economy has stabilized, the shilling has strengthened against the dollar, the cost of living has gone down, and and President William Ruto marked 1,000 days in office. So do you think he has actually honored the promises he made during the 2022 presidential campaigns? Do you think he has honored those promises? So you can also tell us what you think about his remarks days ago when he said that he can actually account for the 1,000 days he has been in office. So share your thoughts about President William Ruto presidency. And moving on, we have a story about the education sector on page 6 of the Daily Nation. Schools close for mid-term break. So a principal's annual conference scheduled for Mombasa from June 22nd to June 27th. So learners will stay at home for 5 days from June 25th to June 29th, and then resume to complete the syllabus. So capitation still a major challenge. Yeah, so National Treasury and Economic Planning Cabinet Secretary John Badi will explore the financing of senior school education and its sustainability. So capitation remains a major challenge in public schools. So education stakeholders have urged the government to increase allocation or allow school administration to raise school fees. So in 2008, President Mwai Kibaki introduced the free day secondary education program, disbursing 22,244 Kenya shillings per learner. However, the cash was later reduced to 17,000 Kenya shillings due to inflation, resulting in a 64 billion capitation debt accrued over the last 4 years. Yeah, so you can also tell us what you think about the capitation. The National Treasury has not yet released the full capitation, and also the Ministry of Education has barred the school heads for raising school fees. Yeah, so learners in primary and secondary schools will break for midterm this week as principal head to Mombasa for their annual conference. Yeah, so after the holidays, schools will resume on August 25th for that term, which is the busiest because of exams. Candidates will prepare to sit the Kenya Primary School Education Assessment, Kenya Intermediate Level Education Assessment, and Kenya Junior School Education Assessment, and the KCSE. So at the same time, the Kenya Secondary Schools Heads Association, that is the KESHA, National Chairman Mr. Willy Kuria said more than 9,000 principals will gather in Mombasa to deliberate on the theme, in quotes, embracing pathways in senior schools. Yeah, and of course, yeah, you should know that the grade 9 will be transitioning to senior schools next year, and they've already begun selecting their preferred pathways. Yeah, so you can find the full story about schools breaking for midterm on page 6 of the Daily Nation. And moving on, we have a story about the late former president, that is Mwai Kibaki. He died in April 2020. So Kibaki Estate Row, Mary Wambui faces summons. Ms. Wambui likely to be asked to testify and produce documents on her relationship with Kibaki. Yeah, so 2 individuals claiming to be former president children have contested his will. Yeah, you should also know that 50 million Kenya shilling is the value of former President Mwai Kibaki's estate, according to his daughter Judith Wanjiku Kibaki. Yeah, so former Othaya MP Mary Wambui is among 14 individuals who may testify in a succession case over the estate of former President Mwai Kibaki. So the High Court is currently inquiring into the rightful heirs of his wealth and the true value of his assets. So fresh court filings reveal that the controversy surrounding Ms. Wambui's relationship with Kibaki, his health status, and the medical treatment he received before his death in April 2022 are expected to come up during the hearings. Yeah, so Kibaki's family, led by his daughter Judith Wanjiku Kibaki, is locked in a legal battle with 2 individuals, that is Mr. Jacob Ochola and Ms. JNL, who claim to be the former president's children and are seeking legal recognition as heirs. So Mr. Ochola and Ms. JNL have filed an application at the High Court Family Division in Nairobi requesting that Ms. Wambui be summoned to testify. Their lawyers argue that her testimony and subsequent cross-examination could be pivotal in supporting their claims by recognition and inclusion in the estate distribution, since they were not listed as beneficiaries in Kibaki's will. Yeah, so you can find the full story about that on page 8 of the Daily Nation. And moving on, we have a story about the EACC, yes, and they will be auctioning 428 million Kenya shilling properties seized from Obado ex-city officials. Yeah, so Kenyans urged to report suspect accumulation of wealth by public officials. So actually Kenyans have been urged to be vigilant. So commission says move is meant to show that corruption does not pay. You should also note that 235 million Kenya shillings is the value of assets recovered from former Migori Governor Okoth Obado by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. Yeah, so the auction already approved. The court is part of the EACC strategy to recover stolen public assets and punish corrupt officials. You should know that Obado is the former Migori county governor. Yeah, so the properties in Nairobi, Kisumu, and Migori counties were seized following successful forfeiture proceedings. So Mr. Obado was found to have irregularly acquired properties worth hundreds of millions through his close associate Jared Peter Odoyo Oluoch Kwaga, and the commission found that many of the properties were registered under Mr. Kwaga and other associates who served as conduits for embezzled county funds. So in Nairobi, Greenspan Estate in Donholm, Mr. Kwaga bought 2 3-bedroom apartments and a townhouse valued 32.5 million Kenya shillings. He also bought 40 million Kenya shillings mansionette in Loresho, currently generating 130,000 Kenya shillings in monthly rent. So these properties are among those slated for auction. Yeah, so do you think justice has been served eventually for the people of Migori County? Yeah, so you can find the full story about the former governor of Migori on page 10. Sorry for that, on page 10 of the Daily Nation. And on the same page, we have a story about a family of officer missing in Haiti, and the family has actually sued the state. So the family of a Kenyan police officer who went missing on March 25th after a deadly gunfight between Kenyan forces and a gang in Haiti has sued the government. Remember, the family has been asking the whereabouts of their kin, and we're still waiting for the response from the government. So Benedict Kabiru's family is demanding to know what happened to him and why government officials have not given clear information about his fate. So the petition lists Attorney General Dorcas Oduor, Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen, and Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi as respondents. So the family is torn between believing Haiti's transition presidential council, which said that Kabiru had died, and the Kenyan government, which maintains that the officer is missing. Yeah, so and I just want to quote what I just want to quote the petition that was filed by Gathenji and the company advocates, and I quote, the Inspector General of Police and the CS for Interior have not clarified the contradiction and continue to deny the family of Benedict Kabiru Kuria a written and truthful position regarding their loved one. End of quote. So it further states that the family, through Miss Jacinta Wanjiku Kabiru, the mother of Benedict Kabiru, Daniel Kabiru Ndongo, his uncle, and Philip Kamau Kuria, the brother, had asked Mr. Ransom Lolmodoni, the police director of operations, to clarify whether Kabiru was alive or not. So Mr. Lolmodoni dismissed the death reports as fake news. Yeah, so they are still demanding the police to tell them the whereabouts of their kin, that is Benedict Kabiru, who is in Haiti for the UN peace keeping mission. Yeah, so you can find the full story about that on page 10 of the Daily Nation. Yeah, so continue sharing your thoughts about our top stories this morning, majorly about the murder of Albert Ojwang in police custody. Kenyans have been demanding for justice. Last week they took to the streets, yeah, and they wanted the resignation of Eliud Lagat, the DIG, so that actually can pave the way for investigation. So share your thoughts about that through our social media handles and our SMS number that is on your screen, and that is 0703 339959. Remember to include your name and where you're watching us from. Yeah, so we have a story about Kiambu County. So Assembly gives the nod for Thika's city status bid. So county partners with government in a 10 billion Kenya shillings deal to build infrastructure. So report by planning committee set to be forwarded to the Senate for consideration. Yeah, so you should note 10 billion is the amount to be spent on infrastructure, water, health, education and trade, sports and other initiatives necessary for the Kiambu's town transformation into a city. Yeah, so you can find the full story about that on page 16 of the Standard of the Daily Nation. Also, court rejects Samburu community's bid to revive 17,000 acre Moi land case. Yeah, so 2009 is when controversy over the land began, and the Samburu community sought legal redress in a bid to claim ownership of the land. Yeah, so the Court of Appeal has blocked members of Samburu community from amending their claims for control of a 17,000 acre piece of land in Laikipia County that was sold by former President Daniel Arap Moi for the 400 million Kenya shillings to become a wildlife conservancy. So the herders are seeking to reclaim the expansive land, which was transferred to a US-based charity, the African Wild Foundation, that is the AWF, in 2011. Yeah, and still on the same page, Dagoretti locals told to shun hate speech. Yeah, so residents of Dagoretti have been urged to shun hate speech, and the National Cohesion and Integration Commission held public forums in the area and told locals to foster peace and harmony. Commissioner Danvers Makori said election violence is often instigated by hate speech. Yeah, so the Dagoretti South DCC, that is Jared Ratemo, appealed to locals to live together and as one. And also Dagoretti North DCC George Juma said peace enhances growth. Yeah, and still in Nairobi County, floods render Key Bridge impassable. Several families were left out in the cold after their houses were flooded in Mukuru slums due to a heavy downpour in the city. So the busy Mukuru Kayaba Mukuru Hazina Bridge in South B was rendered impassable yesterday after Ngong River burst its banks. Starehe Deputy County Commissioner John Kisang urged residents to be careful. This is what he said in the court. Motorists and pedestrians should be cautious while using the bridge. End of quote. Yeah, so continue telling us what you think about our top stories this morning. Yeah, particularly about the Gen Z planned demonstration that is scheduled on Wednesday this week. Yeah, so share your thoughts about that. And also, do you think Raila Odinga has betrayed the Gen Z? Do you think Raila Odinga betrayed the Gen Z? We want to hear from you. Also, we have a story on page 9 of the Standard newspaper. MPs to grill CS Mutua over foreign jobs buyers. Yeah, so Labour CS someone over Scud hiring favoring his Ukambani region. So Yeah, so Labour Cabinet Secretary Alfred Mutua is under fire following revelations that only Machakos, Makueni and Kitui counties benefited significantly from a recent overseas job recruitment drive. So the National Assembly Committee on Diaspora Affairs and Migrant Workers has summoned Mutua to explain why the exercise appeared skewed in favor of his home region. So committee chairperson in Taita Taveta County MP Lydia Haika expressed concern after a report by the National Employment Authority showed that the 3 lower eastern counties received the bulk of the job placement, leaving out most of Kenya's 47 counties. So NEA director, that is General Edith Okoki, however, distanced the agency from the skewed recruitment, stating it had no role in the selection process and lacked authority to scrutinize it. She said the responsibility lay solely with the Ministry of Labor. Yeah, so the report she tabled indicated that while Murang'a, Nyandarua and Baringo counties also featured on the list, their inclusion did little to ease tension. So lawmakers questioned the fairness and transparency of the process, accusing the ministry of centering the job opportunities in the 3 Ukambani counties. Yeah, so you can find the full story about that on page 9 of the Standard newspaper on page 10. Pending 3.7 billion Kenya shillings bills threaten IEBC operations ahead of 2027 elections. So mounting court awards and funding shortages cripple IEBC's capacity to manage upcoming elections. Yeah, so you should know that the next election is 2 years away. So EACC investigation and legal cases keep ballooning IEBC's liabilities, threatening electorate credibility. Yeah, so you should know that 61.7 billion Kenya shillings is the total resource required for 2027 general election. Total amount was revised downwards by the National Assembly to 57.38 billion Kenya shillings, and IEBC awaits 6 MPs elections, 15 for MCAs and 1 senatorial seat. Yeah, so we have 6 members of parliament seats that are vacant and 15 MCA seats that are vacant, and we're waiting for President William Ruto to swear in the IEBC commissioner so that they can actually conduct by-election in these constituencies and also wards. So the NADCO report paved way for various bills, including the IEBC Amendment Bill 2024. Yeah, so you can find the full story about that on page 10. And also Gen Z protest force early school closures. Yeah, earlier on I said that schools have gone for mid-term break. Yeah, so schools principals have abruptly released students ahead of the scheduled mid-term break for the second term as the country braces for another wave of anti-government protests led by defiant Gen Z youth. So fearing for the safety of learners, schools administrators began sending students home from Friday, despite the Ministry of Education calendar indicating that the midterm break officially begins on Wednesday, June 25th. Yeah, so this year the anger is even more focused. Hashtags such as hashtag Lagat must resign, hashtag justice for Ojwang, and hashtag Occupy State House have flooded social media timelines as young Kenyans rally against police brutality, state repression, and the controversial finance bill. Yeah, so you can find the full story about that on page 10 of the Daily Nation. Review hardship allowances for teachers and PCE. So lawmakers say unfair allowances are fueling mass teacher attrition in rural counties. Also, the teachers want the TSC to increase their allowances. So you can find the full story about that on page 11 of the Standard newspaper. So continue interacting with us. Tell us what you think about the state of the nation this morning. Also about police brutality. Do you think justice will be served for the murder of Albert Ojwang and also the vendor who was shot at a close range on Tuesday last week during Nairobi's demonstration. Yeah, so share your thoughts about that. And also, do you think Raila Odinga betrayed the Gen Z? Yeah, we want to hear from you, and you can do that through our social media handles, and that is Facebook, Faraja TV Kenya, YouTube, Faraja TV Media, TikTok, faraja.tv.media, Instagram, Faraja_TV_Kenya, and our SMS number is on your screen, and that is 0703 339959. And we've come to the end of morning updates this morning. Many thanks for joining us today. Let's do this again tomorrow, starting from 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Keep the conversation going, and again, keep it Faraja TV. Don't touch that dial. We have an amazing shows lined up for you. So my name has been Vicky Kipto. Have a lovely day.
Faraja TV, Chemichemi ya Furaha.
We welcome our esteemed customers to Clippers Barber Salon and Spa. The award-winning Barber Salon and Spa. Come get an exquisite and relaxing experience for a perfect haircut, professional makeup, lock installation, facial treatment, hot stone massage from our qualified and professional staff. And now, introducing Clippers Herbal Sauna. Come get a relaxing, refreshing and rejuvenated session with a separate designated section for both women